Under the radar. This is a Climate Craze video and a special CSI report, a climate scene investigation. On March 12th of 2022, a tornado went undetected in central Florida. It literally went under the radar. As reported by Fox 35 of Orlando, Florida, the National Weather Service confirms an EF1 tornado hit Ocala. The tornado was estimated to have 110 mile-per-hour winds, it lasted for 35 minutes, and it traveled 25 miles. And the weather radars missed it. Why? There were two reasons. The first reason is because the Jacksonville weather radar was down for maintenance. Ocala, which is located in northern central Florida, is located at the Red Star. It is serviced by 3 weather radars, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Melbourne, shown by the 3 red circles. During the Ocala tornado, the Jacksonville radar was down for 2 weeks for its scheduled equipment upgrade. Now, I don't know how well the National Weather Service notified the public of this outage, but I did find notices on Facebook and Twitter where they got a combined 58 likes. I'll bet there were more than 58 folks living in the Ocala area. Fortunately, there were no deaths from this tornado. But there's a bigger problem here, and this is the second reason why the tornado was not detected. Central Florida is in a tornado dead zone. It is a dead zone in the sense that the weaker tornadoes are physically smaller and literally go under the radar undetected. This leaves thousands of Floridians in the dark and without storm warning protection for the weaker tornadoes. This dead zone is well known in Central Florida. In fact, the National Weather Service statistics show that about 1/3 of all Florida tornadoes are not detected at all. Of course, though, these undetected tornadoes are the weaker kind, but they still can be deadly. Even if the Jacksonville radar was fully operational, it most likely would not have seen Ocala's EF1 tornado, for which the Tampa and Melbourne radars also failed to see. The dead zone problem exists because the Earth is round. If the Earth was flat, there would be no dead zone problems. But here we are, stuck on a round Earth. So with the Jacksonville radar down, Ocala was only serviced by the Tampa and Melbourne radars as seen here. Notice that the radar beams do not follow the curvature of the Earth. Those radar beams instead go higher and higher the farther away they go from the radar location. And unless the tornado is very strong and big enough to extend into its parent thunderstorm, the radars will never see them. Even though the radars did see the severe thunderstorm over Ocala, they could not see the weak EF1 tornado below it, because the spinning vortex was not tall enough. So even if all 3 radars were operational, most agree that the EF1 tornado would still have gone undetected. Central Florida is truly in a radar dead zone. This red ellipse shows the general area of the dead zone. The closer to the center of the ellipse you go, the taller the tornado must be in order for the radar to see the spinning funnel cloud. A large area from Gainesville to Ocala and the villages is in this zone, and this problem has been known for a long time.
And Fox 35 continues to investigate the tornado dead zone. We first told you about this problem yesterday. Today, we uncovered that the feds know about it, and they have no plans to fix it. Fox 35's Daniel Lama continues our team coverage.
The feds say they know there are gaps in the radar coverage. They did a study on it and concluded those gaps do not need to be filled. Part of the region out of reach is the Villages, which was the fastest growing metro area in the country over the past decade.
So the question is, who's doing what to remedy this shortfall? It's bad enough that there are no warning sirens in Florida, but having inadequate radar coverage is even worse. Fox 35 from Orlando did some investigating, and here's their report. They reached out to Congressman Daniel Webster and Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott. Their results follow. Our representative for Rubio said his schedule was too busy for an interview. Daniel Webster's team said they would check, and then we never heard back. We still have not heard anything from Scott at the time this article was published. The Fox 35 news staff contacted Daniel Webster's office because most of his 11th district lies within the tornado dead zone. Hopefully he can take appropriate actions to remedy this problem. In the meantime, the feds had been busy installing these cameras all over the place and even in the dead zones. but they aren't helping to detect tornadoes because they're all pointed in the wrong direction, downward. It's clear that more weather radars are the best option to eliminate the dead zones, but many say they cost more. Yes, they do. The radars do cost more, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to the wasteful spending on unnecessary climate projects like the Green New Deal, which cost taxpayers billions of dollars. Now, it is important to know that there is no climate emergency, but there are massive amounts of media-generated misinformation. The CO2 Coalition, Clintel, and many other international think tanks clearly show that we are still thawing out from the Little Ice Age. This small amount of warming is good for our Earth, while increasing levels of CO2 are helping our ecosystems. Even NASA knows this. They clearly say that CO2 is responsible for 70% of Earth's greening, because CO2 is a plant food, and more is better. But for those who actually believe CO2 is causing more severe weather, then I present you this tornado graph, which shows that violent tornadoes are decreasing as CO2 levels continue to climb. So if you truly believe more CO2 can change our climate, then let's fire up those Barbies and see if we can put out enough CO2 to completely eliminate those violent tornadoes. Except for asteroids and volcanic events, which have caused extreme climatic changes over Earth's history, it's the sun that controls Earth's climate. When you study all the data, it clearly shows that the sun is in control. And this explains why we are still thawing out from the Little Ice Age. So instead of the media trying to scare everyone to death about climate change, maybe we should actually help save lives by adding more weather radars to eliminate or even reduce those dead zones, and we'll all sleep better at night.